You might come across this in your next exam. Here's exactly what to do. A sample of substance containing carbon and hydrogen burns in excess oxygen gas to yield 4.4 grams of carbon dioxide and 2.7 grams of water. The empirical formula of the substance is, note, what the substance actually contained is actually carbon here and hydrogen here. But what was yielded was CO2 and also water. So first we'll focus on the CO2. What do? We solve for the molar mass of CO2. So we say CO2, its molar mass is 12 plus 2 times 16, and this would help us arrive at 44 grams per mole. Next, we are going to solve for the mole of carbon in 4.4 grams of CO2, because sure, our carbon here, some part of it is actually inside this CO2 here. So in doing that, mole just becomes, what is our mass? Our mass is 4.4 times the atomic mass of carbon is 12. We say times 12 over 44. If you punch this, we'll arrive at, punch my here, 4.4 times 12 divided by 44, and it gives me 1.2. So 1.2, so 1.2 grams. So actually, sorry, this is actually the mass of, not the mole. This is actually the mass of, I'd like to correct this. This is actually the mass of carbon in the 4.4 grams of CO2. Next thing, we'll also do same thing for that of hydrogen in water. So hydrogen, so water, first the atomic mass of water, H2O, would be 2 times 1 plus 16, and this will give us 18 grams per mole. Then next, the mass of hydrogen in 2.7, right? 2.7 grams of water, and this would be the mass equals 2.7 times hydrogen there is actually 2 over 18. So I'll punch here 2.7 times 2 divided by 18, the mass of hydrogen would be 0.3 grams. So first we had 1.2 grams of carbon. Next, we just solved and we arrived at 0.3 grams of hydrogen. So next thing to do now is our empirical formula proper. So our empirical formula would write out carbon and hydrogen. And our carbon, we got 1.2, and our hydrogen, we got 0.3. Next thing, we'll divide through by the atomic mass. So the atomic mass of carbon is 12, that of hydrogen is 1. And this would give us 1.2 divided by 12 would get 0.1, and 0.3 divided by 1 would get 0.3. Next, we divide with the smallest ratio, which is 0.1, 0.1. So 0.1 divided by 0.1 would get 1, 1. Then 0.3 divided by 0.1 would get 3. So the empirical formula of carbon and hydrogen, carbon is 1 and hydrogen is 3. And this is our final answer. What we'll do, this is actually our final answer, but we'll do something. Let's go back to our question and check our option whether we have C1H3. Then there you have it, your option A is the correct option, CH3. Would you like to practice similar questions to this? Click on the link in the description box. You win. Just believe.